Do you ever wonder what's really going on when your kids are displaying attention-seeking behaviour? Today's video is all about what's really going on for them and how we can help them to make a choice that works better for them and also for us. So my name's Jodie Thornton and I work with parents to look at what's really going on for their kids so that we can tune our parenting into exactly what they need, and then life becomes easier for us, and also we get the confidence and in ourselves and our ability as parents. We know that we're raising them in a way that will give them great self-esteem and they'll be able to create a life that they really love as they get older. So attention-seeking behaviour can be anything from poking you, poking their siblings, drawing on walls. It can be swearing. It can be destroying precious things that are really, really important to us or to their siblings. Basically anything where their intention is directly to let you know that they really need you, they really want your attention. And I want to talk about why it's important to skillfully respond to attention-seeking behaviour. So when we don't respond skillfully to attention-seeking behaviour, our kids just escalate. So that's where, you'll be telling them you need to stop frustrating your sister like that. You'll leave the room, you'll come back to a lovely drawing on the wall. Or you will say, that's it, I'm putting all of the scissors up high where no one can reach them. You'll leave the room and you come back to a fist fight between siblings. There'll be anything where, essentially it's that thing where if we don't respond to what they need, then they will literally wait until we can't see them and we'll just do something else. We'll wait until we can't control them, and they'll do, even they start to get clever where they'll actually start doing it where you can't work out which sibling it is, right? So therefore, how can you give consequences? They get really, really clever. And part of the reason why they're so clever at working out what is going to get our attention is that if you think about it, from birth, their whole survival, their whole ability to thrive has been based on the idea that we will be able to respond to their needs, that they will be able to signal to us that they need something, and we will then take care of it. So what they do is, as they get older, they watch what works, what gets us to stop in our tracks and what doesn't. And so they get more and more skillful. And let me tell you, having a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old, you know that the older they get, the more skillful they get at working out what's going to push your buttons in just the right way. So what we need to be able to do instead is to be able to respond to what's going on, to tune into what they need, and then finding a solution that works for both of us. So when we think about it, there's two main theories in the common parenting advice around about attention-seeking behaviour. So the first one is that you don't want to enable the behaviour. So if they want your attention and then they start doing something, like unpacking the entire toy box, then if you sit down and play with them, then you're enabling the behaviour that the more they do something that's not good, the more we give them what they want. And that would reinforce the idea that if I do things that are not great, then I'll get what I want. And then the second, I'll just talk about that one for a second. So when we do that, when we ignore the behaviour, so it's all very well and good to say you don't want to enable. It's totally not an objective that we want to be hurtling towards. But when we don't respond, the only time that works is when they believe that we don't care about what it is that they need. So they can't possibly get our attention. That's it. And that's not an ideal objective either. And the other thing that happens when we just ignore it is that they'll just keep escalating. And I know everybody has tried it. You think about, I'm just not going to pay attention to that behaviour. And some days it'll work because, whatever they needed wasn't that important, but other days they will literally just keep escalating until they get your attention. And so that's not a healthy kind of dynamic. It's almost like playing chicken in reverse. It's like, how much can you ignore, mum, before I can get you to burst? That's not really a healthy dynamic either. Then we look at the other mainstream of parenting advice these days is that attention-seeking behaviour is just about needing relationship with you. So they're not seeking attention, they're seeking connection. And that makes a lot of sense, right? That they want you to sit down and play. They want to be with you. And often it works, right? So whatever they're doing, if you sit down and play with them, it will get the behaviour to calm down. But here's the thing, connection with your kids is kind of like Panadol. It's like paracetamol or Tylenol. It's kind of like if you have a dehydration headache, if you take a paracetamol, you will feel better. It doesn't change the fact that you're actually dehydrated and you need to drink some water. So you can keep taking the Tylenol and you will just need to keep taking Tylenol because it's not going to wear off until you actually get some water into you because your body is dehydrated. And connection with kids is kind of the same thing because they love to be with us. If we say, look, there's this problem that you've got over here, but would you just like to play with me? Like, do you just want to hang out? They will always go, oh, never mind about the problem. I would really love to hang out with you, right? So what we're doing in that case is we're basically giving them the Tylenol or paracetamol, and we're basically saying, don't worry, it's okay. Whatever your problem is, we'll just hang out and you'll feel better, right? And so that is perfect if the issue actually is that they wanted connection with us. If the issue actually is we've had a massive day, I haven't seen you all day, I've been at daycare and I just want to hang out, then if you stop and play, brilliant, you've solved the actual problem. But if the actual problem is something like my sister won't play the game that I want her to play with me, then when you come in with your connection, oh, it'll work. Until you say, now I need to go cook the dinner, or now I need to go fold the laundry, or now it's bedtime. And then they'll go straight back to where they were because the problem still exists. As soon as you take away the painkiller, i.e. the connection, then the pain that they had before comes straight back. They go straight back to where it was. Now, every now and again, you'll get away with, a bit of distraction, and then they won't remember it until the next day. But generally speaking, we don't want to be kind of distracting in a positive way from their needs. So if they've got something going on that they need to address, we don't want to be just like, don't worry, here, have connection, you'll be fine, look over here, don't worry about your problems. That's not, obviously we all do it sometimes, we need to do it sometimes to make the day run well, but as a general kind of rule, we don't want to be ignoring problems and looking for distractions for our kids because it doesn't teach them to address the issue. And as I say, it's all fine until you run out of time. And this is why some kids appear to have an bottomless pit of need for connection with their parents. And it's because they've got other issues going on and they're not getting any closer to getting those issues resolved. And so when they hang out with the parents, everything's fine. When the parents need to go do something else, we go back to a very, very difficult behavioural situation. So, not to say don't give connection, but we want to actually look at what is the issue. So the first thing we need to do is get curious. So when, for example, if I see my 5-year-old, irritating her sister on purpose, I will say, hey, Alyssa, I'm wondering why you need to take your sister's toys. And you see how the tone there, a little bit playful, it's a little bit like, I want to get to the bottom of this because this is not okay. And it's very open. So I always use a lot of words. You never have to use as many words as I do. But you can see how my question is very open. I'm not coming in at this time. I'm not coming in with a guess and I'm not coming in with a preconceived idea of what's going on. All I know is that there's no real reason to take your sister's toys unless there's something going on. Right? And so then she has a chance to tell me or not tell me. And then, so if you need some more help on getting people to, getting your kids to express how they're feeling, reach out because I've got a few resources that can help you there. But essentially the idea is we're opening up an invitation to say, I'm really interested as to why this behaviour is happening. Like, why is it that you need to do that? And that goes all the way through to any behaviour that happens. So long as you can keep your cool, we want to use that same approach. It's like, I'm just really interested. Now, if you have a good guess as to why it's happening, so are you really frustrated that she drew on your picture and now you're taking her toys? If you've got a good guess, come in with the guess. If you're not sure what the reason is, just come in with an open-ended question and allow some space for them to really kind of let you know what's going on for them. So then the second thing we need to do is give them a real sense of confidence that we want to find a resolution for both of us. Because if they come out with, yes, she's always taking my things and I don't want her to take my things, and now I just need you. I just need to spend time with you, and you need to make the dinner. If you just say, well, actually I need to make the dinner, so you just need to deal with it in another way, it's no different to ignoring, because you're essentially not helping with the problem. So we need to give them some confidence that we will try and find a solution. So if you are actually busy and you can't help for whatever reason, and sometimes when I say busy, sometimes it's with your own emotions. Like if you can't stop and help because you're frustrated, tired, in a hurry, whatever's going on for you, and you actually can't help, then just saying, look, I really want to find a way for this to work for everybody. I'm going to need you to stop taking her toys. And so you can see there that, like, I sound genuine because I am. Like, I want to find a solution. I haven't found it yet. And I need you to stop that behaviour regardless of what happens. And so then we get to that place where we're looking for a solution, and if you can't find one, you do your best. So if that means separating the kids, or if that means making sure that whoever's the wait until you're cooking dinner and do something like untoward child, getting them to be in the kitchen or within where you can see them while you're cooking the dinner, for example. But you're just going to do whatever you can to give them confidence that you will find a solution if you can, and getting really creative with those solutions. And then the last thing you need to do is say to them, if you have a problem, I always want to know. Always. If I'm too busy, I will come back and we will talk about it. But if you have a problem, I need you to talk to me about it. And substitute, if it's between siblings, you can say, I need you to talk to her about it, not just draw on her favourite doll or whatever the thing is, right? Like, so you're really just saying, we don't want to be doing, like, having a problem over here and doing a behaviour over here. And the main reason for that is we want to create that kind of open relationship where they can always talk to us, and that serves you for years on end. The second thing is, we really want them to make life easier. We really want everybody to stick with what is really going on. Like, if this is the real issue, don't be going over here. It just means more unpacking for everybody. And so then, of course, we need to have some skills around when we can't find a solution. It's just making sure that we always let them know, I am trying and I can't find a solution. But just making sure that when we're sad about the fact that something's not working for us, we just stay sad about it. We don't want to then create more problems somewhere else by doing something else. So those are your 3 strategies. So the first one is to get curious and open a conversation with them about why would they be behaving like this. Getting really skillful about helping them to really express how they're feeling and what they're needing. The second strategy is about making them feel confident that you will try and find a solution that works for everybody. And the third is about telling them that what we really want in our family is that everybody talks about what's going on for them, rather than choosing another behaviour which would add to the problems rather than address the one we have in the first place. So I'd really love to hear in the comments what has really resonated for you and what you will try to do differently the next time your kids are having attention-seeking behaviour. I've also popped in the description of this video a link to sign up to my mailing list. So I send out these videos regularly, and also some other hints and tips, and often some ways to work with me. So whether that's a free webinar or workshop that I'm running, or if you'd like to work with me in a paid capacity to get some help to really get some traction on these issues. So again, I'd really love to hear what has resonated for you, what aha moments you've had, and if you would love to, I'd love to hear if you can come back and tell me after you've tried using these strategies what changed for you. Thank you so much for watching.